Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. I told you guys it was coming, and I bet y'all thought I wasn't going to come through on it, but no, believe me, I am. The Shutter Island review is finally here. I know I said I was going to do it like 2 weeks ago, but here we are. Shutter Island review is happening. And before we get into the review, I just want to say, yes, I'm aware I've changed the look of the video. I am using my wide-angle lens right now. So if you like this close-up shot, let me know in the comments. And if you're like, ew, I hate this, please go back to the old videos. Let me know what you prefer. I will not be offended. I'm not sure how I feel about each one. And I don't know which one I like more. So either way, please let me know what you think of the visuals and what angle you prefer. Thanks so much. Let's get into talking about Shutter Island. Now, without a doubt, Shutter Island might be the creepiest book I have ever read in my life. And that's all because the subject matter of this allows for so much mental spookiness to be going on in the reader by putting themselves in the shoes of U.S. Marshal Teddy Daniels. Let me tell you what the book's about. For those who don't know, the year is 1954. U.S. Marshal Teddy Daniels and his new partner Chuck All have come to Shutter Island, home of Ashcliff Hospital for the Criminally Insane, to investigate the disappearance of a patient. Multiple murderess Rachel Solando is loose somewhere on the remote and barren island, despite having been kept under a locked cell in constant surveillance. As a killer hurricane relentlessly bears down on them, a strange case takes an even darker, more sinister shade. With hints of radical experimentation, horrifying surgeries, and lethal counter moves made in a cause of a covert shadow war, no one is going to escape Shutter Island unscathed, because nothing at Ashcliff Hospital is what it seems. But then, neither is Teddy Daniels. Now, I can't talk about this book too much without getting into spoilers when I really talk about what I love it, so I'll give you guys who haven't read the book or seen the film a quick rundown of what I think spoiler-free. Like I've said before, the book is absolutely chilling, and you never know where it's going to go, and even having seen the film, I was still incredibly invested in Teddy Daniels' pursuit of the truth. We never know what's around each corner, who's who, what they mean, what's being said, and what's to be taken at face value, and it's because of that, it creeps us out as audience members, because the whole time reading this, I was thinking, if I was in this guy's position, I think I would go insane, because you don't know what's true and what's false, and every time the mystery thinks a question's been answered, it sets up another thread to follow, and that's the true joy of Shutter Island. So before I get into spoilers, I just want to say this book is an absolute 5 out of 5. It is totally worth your time. Now let's get on to my reaction and real deep dive the themes of this book. Now at the end of the book, it is revealed that Teddy Daniels is insane, or supposedly so. The evidence is all there that does conclude that this guy is suffering some sort of mental trauma and mental breakdown, but the thing is, the way they present Ashcliff Hospital, in the back of our minds, we're always going to be wondering, was he really insane the whole time, or did they just get to him somehow? And every time I really think about it, he was insane the whole time. But even so, when you're on this island and there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to help you, there's no one to help you, not even your own partner you can trust, the whole time he's realizing, if they start telling me I'm insane, they can just say that and get away with it by telling the world I am, and I'm going to be stuck here forever. So as the book goes on, and we don't know the full truth yet, we're really concerned for the guy because we're pulling for him. We want him to get out, and we realize that this hurricane is such a great metaphor as well, that's circling and pounding down on the island, because all of the people at Ashcliff Hospital and the inhabitants of Shutter Island are just circling and coming down on Teddy Daniels, attacking his mental state from all angles. And when I saw the film for the first time, that's a more accurate experience of the story itself. But the whole time I'm just thinking, like, they're going to convince this guy he's a crazy person and he's going to be stuck here forever. And I think about being in his shoes. If I was on that island, I can't even describe how terrifying the thought is. Imagine being in his shoes. You go to investigate the disappearance of a woman, and you realize the doctors are lying to you. The staff is lying to you. The patients are the ones that you want to trust, but you can't trust them because they're mentally unstable. And the whole time, the poor guy just doesn't know which thread to follow. Imagine if you were him. The amount of paranoia that prevails throughout this book is just unbelievable. And I'm starting to repeat myself because that is really the driving force behind this book. So let's talk about, besides the plot and how friggin' terrifying it is, the characters. Teddy Daniels is a phenomenal character because the second the book starts, we realize that, okay, it's just going to be us and him. The whole book is told through his perspective. It almost could have been written as a first-person book, and I think that would have been just as cool, like Teddy Daniels' own accounts from his journal about his time at Ashcliffe Hospital. That could have been really, really interesting. But we immediately latch onto the guy because of how sinister the world seems. He is our only beacon of comfort and hope, especially when his partner, Chuck, disappears. And Chuck is phenomenal as well. And I went through and did a second kind of Passover read of the book when I finished it the first time. And you really can see how masterfully the author sets up Chuck's, not betrayal of Teddy Daniels, but the hints and the evidence is there that Chuck is in on it the whole time. And that's what's so great, because it never felt like the director went, and Chuck was in on it, and he was actually crazy the whole time, and they got him now. Actually, when you read it a second time or pick up on it the first time, all the evidence is there. The seeds are being planted throughout that Teddy Daniels is, in fact, Andrew Latis. The seeds are being planted from page 1, the second they hop on the island. And at the end of the book, I felt bad for the doctors because they were doing everything they could to help this guy. And it was just such an outlandish plan that they had. And he says, Andrew, we need this to work. The government's going to cut our funding. We don't know what to do. If this doesn't work with you, Andrew, the whole thing is done. Please just work with us here. And you feel bad for both Andrew and for the staff of the hospital because these people do need help. And they're trying to do non-invasive methods, and they're trying to really grow psychiatric practice. And they just need Andrew to cooperate. But then from Andrew's perspective, he doesn't believe that he's insane. He does not believe this. So what do you want the guy to do? To curl up and say, all right, take me in, I'm crazy? No, you feel bad for the guy because he's slowly realizing, I am responsible for my children's death. And, well, he's not responsible for it, but he does blame himself for it, The wife is responsible for the death of the children. But he has to live with knowing that he feels he could have done something to stop it, and it was his own obsession with work and not paying enough attention to his life at home, and that's what led to his children dying and led to him murdering his wife. So you feel so bad. Imagine learning that about yourself, that your children died and you think it's because of you, that you've invented this false persona. That is just such a terrifying, terrifying concept to me. Shutter Island currently holds the record for the fastest I have torn through a book. 2 sittings. I finished Fight Club quicker, but Fight Club was like this friggin' big. I guess I should do a review of Fight Club. But, anywho, I finished this in 2 sittings, and this is a large book. 400 pages. Now, the print is quite large, so I know it's 400 pages, but the large print does kind of detract from that a little bit. But, like this, I was just glued to it. Even though I knew the story, I loved experiencing it through literature, and Dennis Lehane is just a masterfully written book. It's a 5 out of 5. It is so perfect, and I recommend this book to everyone. Everyone says, Luke, I need a great book to get into. I'm not really feeling Stephen King. I know that's like your guy. What would you recommend? I say Shutter Island or Silence of the Lambs. Shutter Island is a masterpiece. It is perfect. There's not a thing wrong with this book. The mystery makes sense, and that doesn't happen in a lot of mysteries. There's a lot of plot holes that get created in these big mysteries, or there's big twists and stuff at the end. This executed perfectly. I could not have asked for a better reading experience. I tremendously enjoyed it, and all in all, Dennis Lehane, you've knocked this one out of the park. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know if you like the new close-up angle or you prefer the far away one. I don't really have a preference, so let me know what you guys think, and that's the one we're going to go with. If you like what I do here and you want to support the channel, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. And if you really like what I do and you want to support the channel financially, you can see the link to my Patreon in the description below. The Patreon has exclusive access to behind-the-scenes footage, early content and the inside scoop on what I'm doing, all sorts of reward tiers at different price ranges. So go check out my Patreon link and see if anything works for you. Thank you guys so much, and have a great day.